What if I told you that right now in this very moment, your body is performing miracles that modern medicine can barely comprehend? While you're sitting here watching this video, millions of cells are repairing themselves. Your immune system is hunting down threats, and divine intelligence is orchestrating a symphony of healing processes without you even thinking about it. Yet here's the uncomfortable truth that most people never discover. You're probably blocking this miraculous healing power without even realizing it. Has this ever happened to you? You feel a symptom, maybe a headache, fatigue, or persistent pain, and your first instinct is to reach for a pill, schedule an appointment, or panic about what might be wrong. You've been trained to believe that healing comes from outside yourself, that your body is somehow broken and needs external intervention to fix it. But what if everything you've been taught about health and healing is backwards? Smith Wigglesworth, a man who witnessed extraordinary healings throughout his lifetime of spiritual work, understood something that the modern medical system doesn't want you to know. Your body isn't a machine that breaks down randomly and needs constant maintenance from experts. It's a self-correcting temple, designed by divine intelligence with built-in healing mechanisms more powerful than any drug or procedure ever invented. The problem isn't that your body lacks the ability to heal itself. The problem is that your thoughts, emotions, lifestyle, and spiritual disconnection are creating interference patterns that block this natural healing process from doing what it was created to do. But before we begin diving deeper into this revelation, please hit the like button and let me know where in the world you're watching from today. It's always fascinating seeing who's joining us from around the world. And if you haven't already, make sure to hit that subscribe button and turn on the notification bell so you don't miss any of our future videos. Think about this for a moment. When you cut your finger, do you consciously direct the blood to clot? Do you manually instruct your skin cells to regenerate? Do you orchestrate the complex chemical processes that form a scar and restore the tissue? Of course not. Your body knows exactly what to do because it operates according to spiritual laws embedded in creation itself. This divine intelligence is working in you right now, trying to heal you, trying to restore you to perfect health. But most people spend their entire lives actively preventing this healing from taking place. What you're about to discover might surprise you, and it might even make you uncomfortable. Because if your body truly possesses this innate healing power, then your current health struggles might not be random bad luck or genetic misfortune. They might be messages, urgent communications from your body begging you to remove the blocks you've placed between yourself and divine wellness. Every symptom you experience isn't an enemy to defeat with medication. It's your body's intelligent attempt to get your attention about something deeper that needs to change. Stay with me until the end, because what we're about to explore will challenge everything you think you know about health, healing, and the miraculous potential that's been dormant inside you all along. Smith Wigglesworth spent his lifetime uncovering a truth so simple that most people dismiss it as too easy to be real. Yet this hidden truth might be the most revolutionary revelation you'll ever encounter about your own body. Your physical form was designed by divine intelligence to heal itself completely, not partially, not sometimes, but completely. The vast majority of human suffering and disease doesn't come from random misfortune or faulty genetics. It comes from something far more personal and far more within your control than you've been led to believe. Here's where this journey gets deeply personal. The chronic illness you're experiencing, the persistent symptoms that won't go away, the health struggles that seem to have no solution, these aren't accidents. They're not your body failing you. They're your soul desperately trying to get your attention about something you've been refusing to address. Your thoughts create chemical reactions in your bloodstream. Your emotions generate electrical patterns that either support or sabotage your healing. Your spiritual disconnection cuts you off from the very source of life force that's trying to flow through you right now. And your daily decisions about what you eat, how you move, and what you allow into your consciousness are either opening channels for divine healing or blocking them completely. This is the transformation that changes everything. When you understand that your body operates according to spiritual laws just as precise as the laws of physics, you begin to see health in an entirely different way. Think about the perfect balance found in nature. Trees don't worry about how to grow. Rivers don't stress about which direction to flow. Animals don't overthink their healing when injured. They simply align with the natural intelligence built into creation, and their bodies do what they were designed to do. Your body contains this same innate wisdom, this same consciousness, connected to divine creative forces. If this resonates with you, and you want more content that goes beyond surface-level health advice, hit that subscribe button. This channel is for people who are ready to understand the deeper spiritual truths behind physical healing. Every single cell in your body right now is receiving instructions, not from random biological programming, but from spiritual intelligence that knows exactly what you need. When you cut yourself, you witness this miracle in real time. Your blood clots without your conscious direction. Your skin cells regenerate without you telling them how. Scar tissue forms in perfect sequence without you managing the process. This isn't chemistry alone. This is consciousness expressing through matter, divine law manifesting in your physical temple. The same intelligence that orchestrates the planets in their orbits, that turns seeds into trees, that transforms caterpillars into butterflies, is operating inside you right now. But here's the part that requires brutal honesty. If this healing intelligence is already present and perfect, why are you sick? Why do you struggle? The answer isn't comfortable, but it's empowering. You're actively interfering with this natural process through patterns you've developed over years, maybe decades. Your mindset creates your internal environment. Your unprocessed emotions become toxic substances in your system. Your spiritual neglect disconnects you from the power source. The impact of these blocks isn't theoretical. It's showing up in your body right now as symptoms you can feel. Now I want to go even deeper into this topic, because understanding the blocks is only half of the revelation. What matters more is discovering exactly which blocks you personally have in place and how they're specifically preventing your healing. Most people have no idea that their persistent back pain is connected to emotional burdens they refuse to release, or that their digestive issues stem from situations in life they literally cannot stomach. Your body speaks a language, and once you learn to interpret its messages, everything changes. Write in the comments, "I'm ready to remove my blocks," if this resonates with you. Let me ask you something that might feel uncomfortable. What's your first reaction when you notice a symptom in your body? Be honest. For most people, it's immediate fear. Your heart races, your mind spirals into worst-case scenarios, and within seconds you're searching online for what terrible condition this might indicate. Then comes the desperate impulse to make it stop, to suppress it, to silence it with whatever medication promises the fastest relief. This panic response feels natural, even protective, but Smith Wigglesworth revealed something that turns this entire mindset upside down. Your fear itself is one of the most powerful blocks preventing your healing. Think about what happens in your body the moment fear takes over. Your muscles tighten, creating tension throughout your entire system. Your breathing becomes shallow and rapid, reducing the oxygen flow your cells desperately need. Stress hormones flood your bloodstream, triggering inflammation and suppressing your immune function. Your nervous system shifts into survival mode, shutting down all non-essential processes, including the very healing mechanisms that could resolve the issue you're afraid of. In that moment of panic, you've just created the exact internal environment where disease thrives. The symptom you feared has now found fertile ground to grow stronger, not because of the symptom itself, but because of your reaction to it. Here's the hidden truth that changes everything about how you approach your health. That symptom you're desperately trying to eliminate isn't your enemy. It's your body's intelligent attempt to communicate something crucial to you. A fever isn't attacking you, it's burning out infection, raising your internal temperature to create an environment where harmful organisms cannot survive. Inflammation isn't a malfunction, it's your body isolating an injury, sending healing resources to that specific area while preventing further damage. Fatigue isn't weakness, it's your system forcing you to rest so energy can be redirected toward repair instead of being wasted on unnecessary activity. But you've been conditioned to see every symptom as a battle to win, an enemy to defeat. So you take medication to lower the fever before it completes its work. You suppress the inflammation before your body finishes its healing process. You push through the fatigue with stimulants instead of listening to what your body is begging you to understand. And in doing so, you interrupt the very intelligence that's trying to save you. Your body speaks a precise language, and every symptom is a sentence in that language. Pain tells you where attention is needed. Digestive issues reveal what you cannot process, both physically and emotionally. Skin conditions expose what's trying to surface from within. Respiratory problems show where you're afraid to breathe fully into life. The impact of this misunderstanding is profound. You're not just treating symptoms, you're silencing messengers. And when you silence a messenger without understanding the message, your body has no choice but to send louder messengers. This is why chronic conditions develop. Your body tried to whisper with small symptoms, but you suppressed them. So it spoke louder with persistent symptoms, but you medicated those too. Now it's shouting with serious disease, desperately trying to get your attention about the transformation that needs to happen in your life. The journey from symptom to chronic illness isn't random deterioration. It's escalating communication from an intelligence that refuses to give up on you. What decisions are you making right now that treat your body as an enemy rather than an ally? When you shift from fear to trust, from suppression to understanding, something remarkable happens. Your internal environment changes instantly. Your breathing deepens, your muscles relax, your stress hormones decrease, and suddenly your body can access the healing resources it's been trying to deploy all along. This shift in perspective isn't just mental, it's physical, emotional, and spiritual. It's the difference between fighting against your body and finally working with it. Put down in the comments, "My body is my ally," if you're beginning to see symptoms differently. Smith Wigglesworth understood something that modern medicine still refuses to acknowledge. The majority of disease doesn't originate from external threats like viruses, bacteria, or faulty genes. It originates from internal blocks you've been creating, sometimes for years, through your mental patterns, emotional habits, and spiritual neglect. This revelation shifts everything because it means your health isn't determined by random luck or things beyond your control. It's being shaped moment by the invisible forces of your inner world. There's a precise map between your emotional landscape and your physical body, and once you see this map, you can't unsee it. Persistent resentment, that bitter grudge you've been holding on to, it settles in your liver and digestive system, creating inflammation and dysfunction in the very organs responsible for filtering toxins from your life. Unprocessed grief, those tears you refuse to cry, and losses you never fully mourned. They accumulate in your lungs, manifesting as respiratory issues, shallow breathing, and the inability to take in the fullness of life. Fear and anxiety, that constant state of worry about the future, they wreak havoc on your nervous system, creating hormonal chaos, sleep disruption, and the feeling of being perpetually on edge. Deep anger, especially the rage you've convinced yourself is justified and righteous. It targets your heart and circulation, literally affecting the flow of life force through your entire being. This isn't metaphor or spiritual poetry. Emotions are actual forces that create measurable chemical and electrical changes in your body. When you feel anger, your body releases specific hormones. When you experience joy, different chemicals flood your system. When you hold on to resentment, your body maintains elevated levels of stress hormones that were only meant to be temporary responses to immediate threats. Your emotional state isn't separate from your physical state. They're two expressions of the same reality, constantly communicating and influencing each other in an endless feedback loop. Here's where this journey becomes deeply personal and potentially uncomfortable. If you chronically hold negative emotions, you are literally poisoning your own system. Not figuratively, literally. The toxic thoughts you replay in your mind generate toxic chemistry in your blood. The emotions you refuse to process become stored trauma in your tissues. Your body has no choice but to manifest physically what you're carrying emotionally. And here's the revelation that might change everything for you. Your current health condition might be showing you exactly what spiritual and emotional work you've been avoiding. That chronic digestive issue? Look honestly at what you cannot stomach in your life. What situation, relationship, or truth have you been unable to digest and process? The persistent back pain that no treatment seems to resolve. Examine what emotional burden you're carrying that was never yours to carry in the first place. The autoimmune condition where your body attacks itself? Consider where you're at war with yourself internally, where self-criticism and self-rejection have become your default state. Your body doesn't lie, even when you do. It speaks the truth of your inner world through the symptoms you experience. Until you learn to interpret this language, you'll keep creating the same patterns regardless of how many doctors you see or treatments you try. You might suppress symptoms temporarily, but the underlying pattern remains because the emotional and spiritual root hasn't been addressed. This is why some people cycle through endless medical interventions without lasting results. They're treating the messenger while ignoring the message. The transformation that's needed isn't just physical. It's a complete shift in how you relate to yourself, your emotions, and the hidden truths you've been avoiding. The impact of understanding this map cannot be overstated. Suddenly, your symptoms aren't random afflictions, but precise communications. Your body isn't betraying you, it's revealing you. Every ache, every pain, every chronic condition is an invitation to look deeper, to ask what needs to change, not just in your body, but in your life, your relationships, your decisions, your spiritual alignment. This is the journey from victim to empowered creator of your own health. Write in the comments, "I'm ready to listen," if you're beginning to understand what your body has been trying to tell you. Your mind is a broadcasting station that never stops transmitting, and every cell in your body is tuned to that frequency, constantly receiving the signals you send. This isn't some abstract spiritual concept. It's the fundamental mechanism through which your consciousness shapes your physical reality. When you fill your mind with worry about the future, fear about your health, criticism of yourself, judgment of others, or hopelessness about your circumstances, you're broadcasting destructive frequencies that every cell in your body receives and responds to. Your immune system literally weakens in response to these signals. Your cellular regeneration slows down because your cells are receiving instructions that say survival, not thriving. Your organs shift into defensive mode, conserving resources for an emergency that exists only in your mind. Smith Wigglesworth taught that mental negativity is the first major block preventing your healing, and the reason is devastatingly simple. You cannot think destructive thoughts consistently and maintain health. It's spiritually impossible. Your thoughts are creative forces, not passive observations. They generate chemistry. They influence electrical patterns. They direct energy flow throughout your entire system. When you wake up in the morning already rehearsing your problems, when you spend your day catastrophizing about what might go wrong, when you go to sleep replaying conversations that upset you, you're literally poisoning yourself with your own mind. The impact isn't someday in the future. It's happening right now, in real time, as you maintain these thought patterns. But here's where most people get trapped in a victim mentality. They say, "I can't help my thoughts. Life is genuinely difficult. These worries are justified." And this is precisely the mindset that perpetuates illness. You have complete sovereignty over your mental state, not over external circumstances, but over your internal response to those circumstances. The transformation isn't about changing what's happening around you. It's about changing your relationship to what's happening around you. Two people can face the same situation and create completely different internal environments based on the thoughts they choose to entertain. Now, I want to go even deeper into this topic because mental negativity is only part of the equation. The second major block is emotional suppression, and this is where things get intensely personal. Emotions are designed to flow through you like water in a river, experienced fully, then released naturally. They're meant to be temporary weather patterns in your inner world, not permanent climate conditions. But somewhere along your journey, you learned that certain emotions weren't acceptable. You learned to stuff down your anger to appear nice and agreeable. You learned to suppress your grief to seem strong and put together. You learned to hide your fear to project confidence and control. What you didn't learn is that when you refuse to feel and release emotions, they don't disappear. They become toxic substances stored in your body. Your emotional suppression creates literal poisons in your bloodstream that your liver, kidneys, and elimination systems work desperately to clear, but they can't keep up because you keep generating more toxicity faster than your body can remove it. Those tears you refuse to cry are accumulating somewhere. That rage you swallowed to keep the peace is festering inside you. That grief you decided you didn't have time to process is waiting in your tissues, creating inflammation and disruption until you finally give it permission to move through you. This is the hidden truth behind so many chronic conditions. The body becomes a storage facility for unfelt emotions, and eventually that storage facility reaches capacity. The symptoms you experience aren't random. They're your body's desperate attempt to release what you won't consciously allow yourself to feel. Your decisions about which emotions are acceptable and which must be suppressed are literally determining your health outcomes. Every time you choose to appear fine when you're not, every time you smile through pain to avoid burdening others, every time you push down what's real to maintain a comfortable facade, you're creating disease in your temple. Put down in the comments, "I give myself permission to feel," if this revelation is landing for you right now. The third major block that prevents your healing is something most people don't even recognize as relevant to their physical health: spiritual disconnection. You've been taught to separate your body from your spirit, to treat prayer and meditation as optional religious activities rather than essential practices for maintaining wellness. But Smith Wigglesworth revealed that these aren't rituals for the devout. They're actual technologies, precise methods for opening channels through which healing energy flows into your system. When you live disconnected from spiritual practice, you're essentially trying to run your body on backup power, using only physical resources while remaining unplugged from the primary source. Think about what this really means. Your body is attempting to heal itself using only the nutrients from your food, the oxygen from your breath, the rest from your sleep. These are important, but they're meant to be supplementary to something far more powerful: divine energy, life force, the creative intelligence that formed you in the first place. This is supposed to be flowing through you, constantly, renewing, regenerating, restoring. But you've closed those channels through neglect. When was the last time you sat in genuine prayer, not desperately begging when crisis struck, but regularly communing with the source of all healing? When did you last meditate, actually creating silence in your mind so you could attune to the frequencies of divine wellness that are broadcasting constantly? For most people, the honest answer is never, or so rarely it might as well be never. You're too busy, too practical, too skeptical, too distracted. And meanwhile, your body is struggling to heal using a fraction of the resources it was designed to access. This spiritual disconnection creates a deficit that no amount of physical intervention can fully compensate for. You're trying to fill an infinite need with finite resources and wondering why you never feel truly well. The transformation that's available when you reconnect spiritually isn't gradual or subtle. It's often immediate and profound because suddenly your body has access to the power source it's been missing. But spiritual disconnection isn't the only way you're sabotaging your healing. Let's talk about something even more tangible and immediate. The modern diet has become one of the most destructive forces in human health, and the impact is catastrophic precisely because it's so normalized. Your body was designed to run on living foods, substances that carry life force within them. Fresh fruits picked from trees, vegetables grown in soil, whole grains that still contain their vital essence, clean water that flows from natural sources. These aren't just collections of nutrients. They carry vibration, consciousness, the energy of life itself that resonates with and supports your body's healing intelligence. But look at what you're actually consuming. Dead food that's been processed, stripped of vitality, loaded with chemicals your body has no evolutionary blueprint for handling. Substances engineered in laboratories to trigger pleasure responses in your brain, while providing almost nothing your cells can actually use for healing and regeneration. Every time you eat this way, your body must divert enormous energy away from healing processes just to detoxify what you've consumed. You're not fueling your temple, you're forcing it to constantly clean up the mess you keep creating. And then you wonder why you have no energy, why your immune system is weak, why chronic conditions won't resolve. Here's the hidden truth behind your food choices. It's not just about physical nutrition, it's about consciousness. When you eat food grown with chemicals, processed in factories, disconnected entirely from nature and life force, you're consuming the consciousness of disconnection. That deadness enters your system. But when you eat living foods, grown in soil, ripened by sun, carrying the vibration of vitality, You're consuming the consciousness of life itself. Your body responds to this at levels far deeper than nutritional analysis can measure. This is why simply knowing what's healthy isn't enough. You must actually make different decisions about what you allow into your temple. Write in the comments, "I choose life," if you're ready to honor your body with what it was designed to receive. There's another critical block that most people completely overlook because it seems too simple to matter. Stagnancy. Your body heals through movement, through circulation, through the constant flow of life force moving through every system. Blood needs to circulate freely, carrying oxygen and nutrients to your cells and removing waste products. Your lymphatic system, which has no pump of its own, depends entirely on movement to drain toxins from your tissues. Nerve energy must flow unobstructed through your spine to coordinate healing throughout your entire body. When any of these systems become stagnant, healing stops. It doesn't slow down. It stops. Most modern people live in a state of such profound physical stagnancy that their bodies have essentially become swamps rather than rivers. You sit for hours at a desk, then sit in a car, then sit on a couch, breathing shallowly the entire time, barely moving except to reach for your phone or your food. Your blood thickens. Your lymph accumulates waste it cannot drain. Your spine compresses and pinches nerves, and you wonder why you feel terrible. You cannot heal in stagnancy. Life itself is movement. Every natural system that thrives does so through flow. Rivers that stop moving become toxic ponds. Air that doesn't circulate becomes suffocating. And bodies that don't move become storage facilities for the very toxins that create disease. This isn't about becoming an athlete or spending hours at the gym. This is about honoring the basic design of your physical temple. Your body needs to move daily, needs to breathe deeply, needs to get circulation flowing so that healing resources can reach where they're needed, and waste can be removed before it poisons you. The impact of this one change, simply moving your body regularly with intention, can be more powerful than any supplement or medication because it removes a fundamental block that prevents every other healing mechanism from functioning properly. Now, I want to go even deeper into this topic because understanding these 5 major blocks reveals something revolutionary about healing itself. Smith Wigglesworth's entire approach was radically different from the medical paradigm you've been conditioned to accept. Modern medicine operates from one simple question: what can we give you to fix this problem? What pill, what procedure, what external intervention can we add to your system to make the symptom go away? It's a paradigm of rescue, of external salvation, of believing that healing comes from outside yourself. But Smith Wigglesworth asked a completely different question. What are you doing that prevents your body from fixing itself? This is a total paradigm shift, a transformation from victim to empowered creator of your own wellness. Because if healing comes from external interventions, then you're dependent, powerless, waiting for experts to save you. But if healing comes from removing blocks that you yourself have placed, then you hold the power. You're not broken and waiting to be fixed. Your divine intelligence temporarily obscured by interference patterns that you can choose to remove. Think about the profound difference in these approaches. One leaves you passive and dependent. The other awakens you to your own sovereignty and responsibility. Modern medicine treats symptoms, suppresses signals, adds chemicals to override your body's messages. Smith Wigglesworth's approach removes obstacles so your body's innate wisdom can express itself as it was designed to. One is about external control. The other is about internal alignment. The hidden truth is that your body already knows how to heal itself from almost anything. The divine intelligence operating your cells right now is the same intelligence that grows forests, heals wounds, and orchestrates life across this entire planet. That intelligence doesn't need your help. It needs you to stop interfering. This revelation changes everything about your healing journey. You're not looking for the right treatment, the perfect doctor, the miracle cure that exists somewhere outside yourself. You're looking honestly at what you're doing, thinking, feeling, eating, and avoiding that blocks the miracle already trying to happen inside you. Put down in the comments, "I am the healer," if this shift in perspective is resonating with you. Here's what's happening in your body right now in this exact moment as you're listening to these words. Your cells are attempting to return to their divine blueprint of perfect health. thousands of repair processes are underway. Damaged DNA is being corrected. Toxins are being filtered. Inflammation is being managed. Wounds are healing. Your immune system is hunting threats. This isn't occasional. This is constant, relentless, unwavering. Your body has never given up on you. Not for a single second since you were born. Every moment of every day your divine intelligence is fighting to restore you to wellness. But imagine trying to clean a house while someone walks behind you throwing trash on the floor. That's what your body experiences every single day. It's trying desperately to heal you while you continuously create new damage through your fearful thoughts that poison your bloodstream, your toxic emotions that inflame your tissues, your processed diet that your cells can't recognize as nourishment, your sedentary lifestyle that creates stagnancy, and your spiritual disconnection that cuts you off from the power source. Your body is working against constant interference, and that interference isn't coming from outside forces beyond your control. It's coming from you, from your daily choices, from your consciousness, from the patterns you've normalized, and the decisions you keep making. This is where the journey gets brutally honest and deeply uncomfortable. Your illness, your chronic condition, your persistent symptoms, they might be entirely self-created, not because of moral failure or divine punishment, but because you've been living in violation of spiritual laws that govern physical health. You've been placing blocks faster than your body can remove them, creating disease faster than your divine intelligence can heal it. And the most challenging part of this revelation is accepting that if you created it, then you have the power to uncreate it. But that power requires change, real change, not the surface-level adjustments you've been making while hoping for different results. Smith Wigglesworth would look at your life right now and tell you something that might initially sound harsh but is actually the most empowering truth you could hear. Healing is your natural state. Perfect health is what you were designed for. Disease is not normal, it's not inevitable, it's not just bad luck or genetics. Disease is what happens when you block the flow of divine life force through your temple. Every symptom you experience is showing you exactly where you're creating interference. Your body is speaking clearly, and it's been speaking for a long time, but you've been too afraid, too busy, too resistant to hear what it's saying. The power to heal is already within you. It's been there all along, waiting, ready, capable of restoring you completely, but it cannot express while you continue preventing it. Your body has never stopped fighting for you, working tirelessly behind the scenes, performing miracles you don't even notice, keeping you alive despite all the ways you sabotage it. Maybe it's time you stopped fighting against it. Maybe it's time you became its ally instead of its adversary. The question that determines your entire health future isn't whether healing is possible. The question is whether you're willing to change what needs to change so healing can actually happen. And here's where this gets personal. What are you willing to release? What resentment, what fear, what toxic pattern, what comfortable habit that's slowly killing you are you ready to let go of? Because your body is waiting for you to make space for wellness. It's waiting for you to remove the blocks. It's waiting for your cooperation in the miracle that's trying to unfold. The transformation available to you isn't someday in the future if you find the right treatment. It's right now, in this moment, if you're willing to align yourself with the divine intelligence that's been trying to heal you all along. Write in the comments, I choose healing now, if you're ready to stop blocking and start allowing. If you're still here with me right now, that tells me something important. You're not just casually scrolling through content looking for entertainment. You're genuinely searching for truth, for transformation, for a way out of the patterns that have been keeping you stuck. And that matters. The fact that you stayed through this entire message means some part of you recognizes that what we've explored here isn't just information, it's an invitation to completely shift how you relate to your own body and your own healing. I create content like this because I believe there are people out there who are tired of the surface-level answers, who are ready to hear the deeper truths that actually create lasting change. If that's you, then subscribe to this channel. Not because I need the numbers, but because you deserve to have this kind of content showing up in your feed regularly, reminding you of what's possible, challenging you to go deeper, supporting your journey back to wellness and alignment. And let me know you made it all the way through by writing in the comments, "This message was meant for me," When I see those comments, it reminds me why I do this work. It tells me there are others out there on this same path, committed to removing the blocks and allowing the healing that's trying to happen. If this resonated with you, hit that like button. It's a simple gesture, but it helps this message reach others who need to hear it. People who are suffering unnecessarily because they don't yet understand that their body is on their side, not against them. There's a video right here that goes even deeper into how to actually implement these principles in your daily life. It's the practical next step to what we've covered today. Click and continue with me over there because your healing journey doesn't end here. It's just beginning.